The story centers around a scrawny, geeky man named Casey Davies, who works as an accountant. His colleagues dislike him due to his awkwardness and his role in auditing their expenses. He lives alone with his pet dog, Dachshund. One night, he realizes Dachshund is out of food and heads to the market. On his way, two men on a motorcycle approach him, with one asking if Casey has a gun. Later, as Casey walks home with the dog food, the same men, along with other attackers, confront him again. Fearing for his life, Casey tries to flee but is caught, beaten unconscious, and robbed. Days later, he awakens in the hospital, discovering through voicemails that nobody, except his boss Grant, checked on him. Grant tells Casey to take as much time off as needed. Traumatized, Casey becomes fearful for his life, and after watching a gangster film, decides to buy a gun. At a gun store, he's informed of the necessary background check and waiting period. On his way home, he stumbles upon a karate dojo and decides to visit. Inside, he observes Sensei teaching a class. Afterward, Casey speaks with Sensei, asking to join, and Sensei invites him for a free trial class the next day. When asked why he wants to join, Casey lies about wanting to stay healthy and fit. Before leaving, he meets Anna, the dojo's only female member and a brown belt who teaches kids classes. She scolds him for wearing shoes on the mat. Casey starts lessons as a white belt, befriending Henry, who is also working towards a promotion in rank. In his first lessons, Casey learns to kick with his feet and spars with another student, Kennith, who initially knocks him down. However, Casey manages to land a few good hits. By the time the promotion ceremony arrives, Casey has improved significantly. Henry confides in Casey that he overheard Sensei discussing a promotion to black belt. Before promoting his students, Sensei shares the story of the dojo's late grandmaster, who was killed after being shot, leading Sensei to believe that gun users are weak. Sensei also reveals a unique move known only to the Grandmaster, who could kill a man by pushing his index finger through the victim's skull. Impressed by Casey's progress, Sensei promotes him to a yellow belt. However, Sensei does not promote Henry, instead awarding a black belt to another dojo member named Thomas. It is revealed that Sensei trains high-ranking students in a special night class. Following his promotion, Casey gains confidence. However, one afternoon while grocery shopping, he encounters a thug who intimidates him and knocks the groceries from his bag. Casey drives home in tears, questioning his worthiness of the yellow belt. Sensei notices Casey's low spirits and urges him to open up in his office. Casey admits he joined the karate class because he is terrified of larger men and wants to become what intimidates him. Sensei tells Casey he made the right choice by joining the class, but emphasizes the importance of mental growth. He suggests Casey listen to metal music, learn German instead of French, and make every aspect of his life as masculine as possible. Sensei also invites Casey to attend the night classes. Following Sensei's advice, Casey makes several changes in his life. One day, his boss Grant informs him it's time to return to work after 2 months. At work, Casey adopts an assertive, arrogant demeanor. When Grant invites him to dinner, Casey punches him in the throat, stating a boss can't be friends with subordinates. He then brags to his coworkers about his aggressive action, insulting them but winning their approval. Casey is fired but continues to follow Sensei's advice, even stopping petting his dog to make it stronger. Casey starts attending the night class, where he encounters Henry, who feels betrayed by Casey's unannounced attendance. During class, Sensei calls Henry up for a demonstration and purposely breaks his arm at the elbow, chastising him for attending without an invitation before expelling him from the dojo. One night, Sensei calls Casey, informing him he has located one of the bikers who attacked him. They meet at a bar where Sensei orders Casey to confront the man. Casey follows the intoxicated biker to a parking garage where he appears to be heading towards a motorcycle. Casey strikes the man in the stomach, causing him to fall and hit his head on the pavement, bleeding profusely. Sensei emerges and begins recording the incident for some reason. Casey takes the man's keys and discovers he was headed to a regular bicycle, not a motorcycle. It turns out Sensei lied to him about the man's identity. Horrified, Casey returns home to find his dog Dachshund, unconscious on the floor. He takes him to the hospital, but the doctor informs him the dog died from a kick to the ribs. However, there was blood on Dakshin's teeth, suggesting he bit his attacker. Convinced that Sensei killed his dog, Casey goes to the dojo and intentionally breaks all the rules to provoke Sensei. When Sensei arrives, Casey accuses him of killing Dakshin. Sensei denies involvement, but Casey is certain of his guilt and threatens to leave the dojo. However, Sensei blackmails him with the recorded footage, forcing him to stay. Casey attends another night class, during which Sensei takes him, Anna, Thomas, and Kenneth on a motorcycle run. Casey rides with Anna, who approaches an undercover cop in a manner similar to how Casey was previously approached. The cop shoots Anna in the leg, and Casey uses his moves to attack the cop, accidentally killing him by slamming his head against a fire hydrant. Sensei scolds Anna for not asking the man if he has a gun, like the ones who mugged Casey. Sensei tells Casey he has earned a red stripe on his belt for taking a life, noting Anna has one too. Casey takes Anna home, and she shares her story of being attacked in the dressing room early in her dojo days. She killed the champion at the time by strangling him with his belt. Anna thanks Casey for the ride, but tells him not to return to the dojo. Increasingly concerned, Casey goes back to the dojo to investigate further. He discovers a crematorium and finds Henry's body hanged by his own belt. He also finds tapes, including one of his mugging, which reveal that Sensei, Anna, and Thomas were his attackers, with Thomas knocking him out. It was part of a scheme for Sensei to help others like Casey turn their lives around. After leaving, Casey notices the pickup truck from the grocery store thug, chops off the left mirror, and leaves a dent. Later, Sensei discovers Henry's body and throws it in the crematorium. The next day, Casey confronts Sensei and declares he is going to kill him. Casey also taunts Sensei by calling him by his real first name, Leslie, particularly since Sensei had previously mocked Casey for having a feminine-sounding name. Casey brings up how Sensei blackmails former students into paying membership fees even after they have left the dojo. He challenges Sensei to a duel to the death, which Sensei confidently believes he will win. The two prepare for the duel and bow, but Casey suddenly pulls out a gun and shoots Sensei in the head. During the night class, Casey takes control, leaving Sensei's body on the floor for the other students to see. He tells them that he killed Sensei using the finger punch technique that the Grandmaster was said to know. Before continuing, Casey instructs the students to hold out their hands. He notices bite marks on Thomas's wrist, confirming that Thomas killed Casey's dog, Dakshin. Casey brings out his new German Shepherd, which he has trained and learned to command in German. The dog proceeds to tear out Thomas's throat. Casey then awards Anna the black belt and appoints her as the head of the dojo, where she pledges to promote a more compassionate form of fighting. As the movie concludes, Anna goes on to teach the children. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.